Come on. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's me, Ben, live here on Have At It. First of all, I want to apologize. I'm a few minutes late. I had a little bit of technical difficulties right now, so just bear with me. As they say, anything can happen live. But thanks for everybody for joining in tonight here on Have At It, episode 2. We're gonna preview the Bengals and Bucs game. We're also going to talk about some other stuff going on. Lots of good stuff tonight. We got some guests in the house. So let's get it going. Let's start off with the professor himself, one of my co-hosts on NFL Edition, Mr. Johnny Dean. Let's bring him in.
How's it going, man?
It's going okay. A little bit of technical difficulties right now. How am I looking on this end, Johnny?
You're doing good, man. I'll tell you a trick after the show. I'll meet me behind the scene and backstage, and I'll tell you a trick to making sure that's all good.
Ooh, I like that sexy talk from you. Thank you, Johnny.
Hey, Jason's not even here, dude.
Well, not yet. Let's calm down for a minute. Speaking of Jason Suede, his buddy is also here with us. He is everyone's favorite sailor, including mine, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alex Schomber. Good evening, Alec. How you doing tonight?
Why you gotta do that?
I thought Scott was his favorite guy.
Well, he's number 2.
Oh, okay.
I just saw the list. So, anyway, Alec, what's going on, bud?
I'm a number 8. All right, I'll crack the top 5.
So you're saying there's a chance?
No, not even a chance. I'm not even sniffing fucking 7th.
Well, you're sniffing something. I just asked
Chris is in there.
So anyway.
Fucking weed, not freaking that.
Right. So, guys, as you know, this weekend we got the Bengals and Bucs coming up, I should say. After last week, boy, this is going to be a big game. I know it's an outer conference game, but still, I mean, the Bengals are coming in pretty much healthy. They don't have Trey Hendrickson; he's out for the game. Kind of a big loss. Good tight end for their team. For the Bucs, though, we found out that Vita Vea is going to be out. Jamel Dean's going to be out, and Carl Nassib was listed as out too.
That's 2 big hits right there, Jamel Dean and Nassib.
Oh man, yeah, especially Nassib. I mean,
and with that secondary like it is, we're facing Joe Burrows here, man.
True, but there is some light at the end of the tunnel, perhaps. Antoine Winfield may be playing Sunday. He's questionable, but he may be a go, as well as Mike Edwards. So the backfield should be getting back healthy. But again, it all starts up front, and when you don't have Vita Vea, you don't have Carl Nassib. That is, and you're already lost.
It's going to be a lot of pressure on the secondary to step up.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Alec, what do you think of these injuries, man? Is this worst case scenario for the Bucs?
It's been that way all year.
I'm asking Alec.
that just
I mean,
out of my head, man. Sorry.
After the last couple of games, I don't think any injury on the other team the Bucs will take advantage of. They gotta prove it to me that they actually want. I mean, it's more so like if they even want to win the game, because it's like so much stuff is going on with the team. It's either chemistry, coaching. I don't know. People want to be a GM for the team and say they know exactly what's wrong. Well, if you know exactly what's wrong, then why don't you fix it? But
well, you can't help injuries.
All you can do is hope and pray we win.
But again, you can't help injuries. But again, yeah, the coaching. Yeah. It's
injury bug has been a very painful thing.
When you say if they want to win the game, you can't say that about any player in the league, dude. Every player wants.
No, I mean like that chemistry. It's like from I feel like that chemistry from training camp. Ever since Brady, like you can see before and you see after. Like before he left and said, "I was gonna go take my 11 days or so." Before it was fine, and it's just like after you start seeing the effect of what that caused. Like some people will say, "Oh, it's only 11 days."
Yeah, I
Those
agree
11 days
that
make a big impact
that
on a
chemistry
lot of things.
got fucked from the very beginning of the season when they started out thinking that Trask was going to be the quarterback through the season, making a playbook for him, getting all the chemistry and all the number one reps through even through the first 4 games while we were playing games. Trask and Gabbert were taking the number one reps because Brady was off doing his thing,
Yeah.
So
Well, the chemistry to me, it all
that got
fell
screwed.
apart when
And what's
Marquette.
really weird is the Mike
But,
Evans and Tom Brady connection is just like that used
like,
to be like a
when
big thing.
Marquette
And I was,
retired, when he retired, that started the domino effect. Let's
Yeah,
think about that. Not Jensen, the injury, but Marquette. He'd
yeah,
retired out of the
yeah.
blue.
Out of the
So
blue.
now you got to replace him, which they kind of did with Shaq Mason. But
We're
again,
facing Kappa next tomorrow. I mean, yeah, we're facing
yeah,
Kappa too. So
absolutely, who's going to be coming back this week?
who is, and
So,
he's also playing much better now too. I mean, they got
mm,
their chemistry together with that offensive line, and their
absolutely,
offensive line is playing as much better as ours is playing worse.
yeah,
So
no,
yeah.
the
I
real
mean,
question is, how many times will Donovan Smith hold the other player?
as
That's
many
always a
times as he
question.
has to. I mean, honestly, the thing is, don't let Brady get hit. That's his job. So
Yeah,
if holding is part of that, it's going to happen. I mean, every lineman has held. Everyone has.
oh yeah, I mean,
Donovan
yeah,
is kind of like he's in a weird spot right now with where he stands with the team because he don't have that help that he used to have. He doesn't, and they know. All right, if you're using our tight ends over here, if Keith's over here chipping to Worf's is supposed to be back tomorrow though, right? Or is he still doubtful?
well, they're saying he's in line to play. They're saying
Okay,
it's possible that he will play, from what Bulls said today. So who
but
knows?
since Worf's went down, they had to use the extra chippers. They've used a tight end and a running back over there to help out on that side. So Donovan's been kind of left on an island there. He gets these
Yeah.
defensive ends that are like you saw what Miles Garrett ate him up. You know,
Mhm.
and Miles Garrett's one of the best pass rushers in the league. We know that, and now we're playing the Bengals, who have their own. I don't even know his name, but he's a good pass rusher, and
Yeah.
those guys on the Bengals defense are playing their hearts out right now.
And
So
just think about that, what you just said, Johnny. Miles Garrett, Joey Bosa.
yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa, yeah,
Bosa. Now they got to go up against another good defensive end. So it's like I get it. Donovan Smith, he's in a tough spot, but
he
again,
is.
he does have to cut the penalties down. Now, yes, he might get a hold. He will hold, but the refs will allow a certain amount of holding. It's
Yeah, but
just
they're going to watch Donovan. You know that the
oh, they
refs are
will.
going to come into the league
Yes,
and
they
they
will.
say, okay, he's gotten a lot of penalties on holding, so we're going to keep an eye on him. So he's going to get picked out. Should be easier for the other guys, though, right?
Mhm. Right.
They're going to
Yeah.
be watching him, so the other guys should be able to get away with a few things there.
I gotta tell you, this is gonna be quite a game. It's interesting because now the Bucs have won their last 2 home games in dramatic fashion. They beat the Rams last second, beat the Saints last second. I don't think they can get away with that against the Bengals because the Bengals do put up points and they're going to keep putting up points. They run the ball well. Joe Mixon, those guys, they just run the ball well. They keep the clock going. The Saints, the problem with that team is they they
but
don't have.
Actually, that's a
haven't you
good
seen the
thing
trend
for us.
though?
The Mixon and the Bengals haven't been running the ball that well the last 4 games. That's why Burrows has been putting up a lot of air yards. I just did the DVOA stats on
Right.
them, man. So
But that's why they're due for a good game this weekend.
I think that's happened ever since Mixon has injury against Pittsburgh.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, but haven't you noticed the trend? Like this is equivalent to last year, where Bengals they started off like they were good, but everybody was like ignoring them, and then they
Well,
snuck back in,
yeah.
started
Let's
going on
keep
that
in mind though,
streak.
Joe Burrow had an appendectomy he had to get done.
Yeah,
So he was late in training camp.
yeah,
Bengals were 0-2 to start the season. They're 9-2
yeah.
since then. So
yeah.
they're getting that hot at the right time. I still think they're a threat to go to the Super Bowl.
I do
And
too.
I know we love to talk about the Bills. That's fine. We like to talk about the Chiefs. That's fine. But I still think the Bengals could be that team coming out of the AFC.
I still think it's Bills and
End of
Chiefs in the
January.
AFC Championship, but this time it's in Buffalo.
One of those teams is not going to beat Cincinnati.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm just that's what I'm hoping. 'Cause I don't know, that Bills Chiefs matchup is this always a good one.
Now,
But
here's the thing: when
The
we
Bills
look at
better step it up if they're going to make the AFC Championship because they've been coming.
yeah, that game
They're
last
on
week
a
was pretty
decline
bad.
right now. They're
Yeah.
still winning, but they're still on a decline right now. They're struggling.
there's Jason. You want to
Oh, it's
let
not.
you go now? Okay. So right now, again, we're 6-7, bad division. Carolina, believe it or not, they've won 3 of their last 4, I believe, Johnny. Defense, they're getting it together.
Yep.
They play Pittsburgh this weekend. If they win, Bucs lose. Carolina's actually in first place. They got the tiebreaker. They're undefeated in the division. So now you make it a lot tougher. This is why it's very, very vital this Bucs team keeps winning. You got to win this game. I mean, now you got a 3-game.
Do we have to win? I mean,
well, I mean, if Carolina wins and we
I
don't,
would love to see. I would love to see the Bucs do that little thing where they just start getting so strong at the end of the season that they just blow everybody away. That would be great. But are they?
No, I honestly don't think so. I mean, if you can't even beat Pittsburgh and Carolina with a rookie quarterback and a third string quarterback, I mean, come on now. I mean, they couldn't even beat Cleveland with Brissett.
That rookie quarterback was the best thing they did. So
that's true. That's true. Oh man, so let's get some more comments, shall we? Got a lot of people commenting tonight. Alex friend Scott says that's what she said. I don't know. We don't have any girls on the show right now. So
Tracy's in here.
Oh, hi Tracy, how you doing tonight? Thanks for tuning in. Chris Cole first, absolutely, and thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it tonight. Facebook user, hi, hey, my love, Johnny Dean. Ooh,
That's
Tracy. Tracy, very good. Alec is taking me to a Rams versus Bucs game. Ooh, Alec, aren't you taking me to that game? Come on, I'm jealous. Hammy Jammy says, "Hey Ben, oh Hammy, how you doing tonight? Thanks for the love, sweetie." Scott Thaler says, "Johnny smokers go directly to the." Here we go. B Stadium.
You got lucky, Scott.
Yeah, you're lucky. Johnny does not control the comments section. Hey Ben, how you doing? Facebook, I'm gotta get on Facebook to see who that is. Oh,
I think it's probably Sean.
Here.
Most likely it's Sean.
Thanks for coming on.
Probably.
Thanks for tuning in, bud. Good evening, gents. Good evening, Mr. Handy. How you doing tonight? And again, thanks for the hat. Appreciate it. And of course, my love's daddy is here. Yeah. Thank you, Jason, for tuning in. Yeah. See, LMAO Scott Thaler. Andrew, good evening. Thank you for tuning in. And by the way, good show tonight. You guys were kicking ass on that show. You, Mr. Loosemore, Sid, and Christopher. Good stuff. Scott there said, "Will the Texans pick Caleb Williams at the number 1 pick?" No, Caleb's going to be back next year. So calm down. Sean Spencer says, "Carolina is coming for the NFC South. They just might. You know what? Hey, their defense is getting better. And their schedule, I mean, it's not really tough. It's not really that difficult. Steelers this week at home. We got to play them in a couple weeks. I believe that's December or January 1st. So, and they play, they got, I believe, New Orleans, the last game of the year. So that's a winnable games.
Yeah.
So, Scott, have at it. That's what she said. Yeah. Okay. Again, we don't have girls on this show. I would accept Tracy, but that's all we have. What up, guys? And Andrew says Bucs by 40. Wow. Okay. Pretty bold. How about predictions, guys? I picked the Bengals, but I think this will be a close game. I'll go 27-20. Johnny, who do you like in this game?
I'd took the Bengals too. Our defense can make it close. I showed you that stat that was on the defensive versus our offense. So, I think our defense can keep it close. Our best, I would probably, if I was coaching, I'd probably let them get away with the run so that they think that they can run the ball better.
Yeah.
And keep it out of Burrow's hands as much as possible. I don't know how much pass rush we're going to be able to get on Burrows, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially with Vita Vea out, it's not going to, the run game is going to help the Bengals in that department. Richard Nuches has played pretty good so far.
Yeah, I would be playing let the run as much as we can control it from our side of the ball. Let their run dominate and don't make them go to the pass, because if they go to the pass, we're screwed.
Pretty much, yeah. And again, we do have. Hopefully, Winfield will be back and Edwards will be back as well. But again, like you said, they're so good in the pass game. You got to have a pass rush for the secondary to be effective. Alec, what do you think? Who do you got in this game?
I say Bengals 30, Bucs 23.
Whoa, that's a good one, because at least we scored 23
Hopefully,
points in that
that's
one.
Lord willing they can get past 19 points. Lord willing, because that's asking for a lot lately.
I like your confidence. Yeah. Zagniv, what's cracking, fellas? Anthony, how are you doing tonight, buddy? Thank you for going on. And he says he switched platforms. YouTube handles better when I'm in the street. Oh, man.
You better get out of the street and get run over that way, bud.
Especially in Oklahoma.
Yeah, maybe not. I forgot about where he was at.
Andrew Fuller says definitely not by 40. Lots of that. Wonder what the 40 means. Is that something else? I don't know.
He said Bucs by 40 earlier, didn't he?
Jason Swiss, girls, ew. Okay. I guess you don't like girls. Oh man. So how about some other matchups around the league? I mean, what other game are you guys looking forward to this week to watch, Mr. Dane?
There's quite a few of them, man. That Titans-Chargers game, I think, is going to be a really good game.
Yeah.
Chiefs-Texans, definitely not.
I know.
The 3 games they got on store for tomorrow is looking good. I like those 3 games. The Vikings, Colts, Ravens, Browns, and Bills, Dolphins. Those look good, like good games. I think they're going to be good.
I really think that Ravens Browns game is going to be very interesting to watch.
Yeah.
I think it'll be low scoring, but I got the Ravens in this game. I just, Huntley's good enough to win a few games like this, as long as the defense.
I like Huntley better at quarterback right now in Greg Roman's scheme better than I like Jackson, because Huntley can throw the short passes. He's more accurate with the short ball. He don't have that giant arm that Jackson has, but he's far more accurate with those short passes and stuff. He can get the ball around.
Yeah.
And that's something Jackson don't ever do. He does. It's not in the game plan of Greg Roman's, but Huntley can spread the ball around a lot better than Jackson does. Jackson's passing is all deep balls, Yep.
Alec, what games are you looking forward to besides this game? What do you think? What catches your eye?
I've been saying it for like the last hour. I mean, I apologize for last night because I was completely I was not even in the mood to be on a show.
Hey, Jason,
but
where are you at?
I was going to say last night, the game that I feel like might be, I'm hoping, Lord willing, the Jaguars playing spoiler. Because it's like, if you watch the game against last week, if the Houston Texans would have they put it on them points wise and made it close, but Jacksonville is that's always that team, especially in December, that can play a spoiler.
I don't argue that.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
I feel like the Jaguars could possibly win that.
Trevor Lawrence is getting better. Lately, of late, I've seen him throw the ball better, make better decisions. The running game is decent with Travis Etienne.
I really Trevor Lawrence close to when we had Brady the first year when he said had to learn that playbook. Because I'm pretty sure Doug Pearson changed the offense so he had to adjust to it. So obviously there's gonna be pains with that. Hopefully this is a sign that the Jaguars are moving right in the right direction for next season, instead of having to play from behind and have a 1-7 start or something. In my opinion.
Yeah, well, I'm still not. Go ahead, Ben.
Well, I was going to say, you're seeing the improvements already with
Yeah.
Doug Peterson there. You're seeing he's bringing that culture there, that winning culture.
I mean, I'm not saying
he's
Super Bowl or
quarterback.
anything, but
Well, no, but I mean, he's got a quarterback. He's a quarterback coach. He knows how to help quarterbacks out with their mechanics and everything. Trevor Lawrence seems to be improving on those mechanics, so that's good to see. And listen, they're in every game. They're not getting blown out like they used to in years past. So that's where you're starting to see that winning culture, that belief that they can compete with anybody in the NFL. So it's good to see.
Kind of what I was going to get at. I'm still not sold on Trevor Lawrence, but Doug Peterson has eliminated those plays from the playbook where Trevor Lawrence usually puts them in trouble.
Right.
So
Yep.
I like the coaching there. But I want to say something to you about Dallas. That Dallas game.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
You saw at the end of that game that Dallas took the game over when they needed to.
Right.
That's don't let that be a mirage to fool you into thinking that the Jags can just do that to anybody, because that's you saw how easily they took over the game at the end there. So it wasn't like they were really in trouble. It's just that it's kind of like they took their foot off the pedal going into this game, thinking, okay, it's just the Jags. And then when they saw that they needed to actually play, they went out there and played.
Yeah, and again with Dallas, though, I mean, boy, I just got to say,
I know it's hard to say anything
it's
about Dallas. I'm still there, man.
there's
I'm having a
40.
hard
I
time.
know there's over 40 million reasons why they had to bring Dak back to play him, but it just seemed like Cooper Rush had a rhythm. He had a move.
Exactly.
They were
It's
able to
the
move.
game
Their
plan.
offense was good.
That game plan fit them perfectly, man. I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, Dak,
Now,
the turnovers, that's what hurt the Dallas in the game against Houston. He had those 2
absolutely.
interceptions.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, I picked Dallas to win, but
Get
I wouldn't
control
be
of Dak.
shocked whatsoever if Jacksonville pulls it off,
Right. Yeah, who's to say that Dak doesn't throw one of those things at a crucial moment, man?
Well, hey, yeah. And Jacksonville has a pretty solid defense. They can get to the quarterback at times. So, yeah. I mean, there's some other games. I mean,
I left one game off of this list that I really am interested in.
oh yeah,
it's probably the
Which
closest game of the weekend.
Yeah,
I think I think you know who I'm talking about, with the Commanders and Giants.
yes,
That's that's going to be an interesting game to watch, because who's going to win? They tied the last time.
yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be funny if they tied again? Wouldn't it be funny if they tied again?
The other game that I'm like, if I were to tell you the Broncos and Cardinals game would be Rypien versus Colt McCoy, you would have told me I was lying. I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh. And and there's another thing I'd say for that Jets game. I was watching NFL Network this morning, and they were saying that Mike White has better chemistry with that team more than they do,
Yeah,
even with that early start. And
Well, yeah,
with God, with Zach Wilson back in,
Ben,
it's
can
like
you
I
get
wonder
down
if
to
that
Andrew's
chemistry is.
question there?
yeah, sure.
That's what I want to hear. I want Alex. Andrew ask you a question. Andrew ask you a question.
Honest question: who would decide what NFL team flag would be flown on a ship?
That's a great question. Who does decide that? If you were flying a flag on a Navy ship for an NFL team, who gets the decision?
That's a
Captain?
Most of
Would
this,
it be a vote or what?
I mean, technically, we're not allowed to anymore.
Seriously?
We could fly a lot of stuff. Like they have like the LHA America. They have like the Captain America flag flown up, but they usually don't put like sports teams on there.
Wow. I just lost respect for the American Navy.
No, it's just because like
The British Navy flew a Bucs flag. I know that for a fact. I sent Neil
they'll probably if the ship was in port, they would probably fly it up. But like for like deployment mission essentials, they just stick with because they had to have the warning flags on there or warning symbols, but that's about it.
You remember
That's
Neil
interesting.
Stubbs, Ben?
Yeah, I've heard of that name. Is he
He
from
was,
England?
yeah, he was on a Navy frigate, and I sent him a Bucs flag to fly on the Navy frigate, and they put the Bucs flag up on there. So the Bucs flag has
Yeah,
flown on
yeah.
a British Navy frigate.
Oh, nice. Do
That's
you have that?
cool.
He gave you one of those flags, right?
Yeah, I
That you
got the
got
British flag from him as the signal flag from off that same ship.
right.
Yeah,
Gotcha. That used to hang up right with where the old Bucks logo is right now, right?
yeah, it's down in my basement right now. I had to
Oh,
repair it.
got it.
The lanyard got messed up on it.
Here we go, Scott. How many? You mean the Pirates? I don't know. That's Scott. He's getting to you, Johnny. He's getting to you.
I can't even see it.
Yeah.
Thank God for cataracts.
Yeah. By the way, Alec got something in my eye last night. Ew. Okay. Oh, come on, man. Be careful. Shoot your aim.
I know this is probably random, but I'm actually, if you watch some of the bowl games today, I love that the
I did
tribute
not.
they have for Mike Leach on the
Oh yeah,
helmets.
let's give a shout out. Well, not a shout out. Let's pay our respects to Mr. Leach. Unfortunately, he passed away Monday. He designed the air raid offense, which was the spread offense. Uses a lot of receivers, but they don't go deep. They use a lot for quick little hitch routes, everything, movement in the offense.
The way that offense was layered was
Yeah.
amazing because
Yeah.
each guy had their own route, and they didn't. There was no crashing into each other and all that crap. And before that came out, that was unheard of.
Yeah, and it was fun to watch because it was different. He started a movement, so to speak, a different way to play football on the offensive side of the ball. So it was very unique.
He layered those routes so
Yeah.
fine-tuned. It was so fine-tuned to deep offense. It was pathetic.
Yeah, he obviously coached at Texas Tech, Washington State, and Mississippi State currently until his passing. But Mississippi State will play in their bowl game. Honor Mr. Leach. That's what he would have wanted. They're going to play Illinois. Should be a good game. I will watch that game. That's January 2nd. I think it's called the Relying Quest Bowl. I think that's what it's called. Forget it. One of those. Yeah. But
I'll definitely miss the Mike Leach interviews because if he was anybody was to interview him and talk about football, they have to he kind of start away from that, but you have to start random conversations with him.
Oh yeah, he was a very polarizing figure, dude. He spoke his mind. You got to respect that. I like coaches that do speak their mind. They're not afraid to say what they got to say. So
Bruce Arians, I'm gonna miss him so bad.
When I saw him go to the hospital, I was like, "Don't tell me this is gonna happen."
Yeah,
I think he went to the hospital last Monday or something like that. I think it was Monday or Sunday.
It's been a bad week, man. I know it's off subject, but Twitch from Ellen passed away as well, unfortunately.
Oh, DJ Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a tough week, man. For this stuff to happen.
I missed that. I didn't even see anything about that.
Yeah, he.
I think it happened Tuesday, also or Wednesday. Actually, it had to be Monday or Tuesday. I think, right?
I think it was on Tuesday. Yeah, they found him in a motel or something. Yeah, it's just real sad. I just hate to see it, man. But oh man, let's see. Let's get back to the comments.
Oh my God,
Sydney Swinton. He was on North Sports Dynasty tonight. Sid Cards. Thank you for tuning in, man. Good stuff from you tonight as well. He's got a show, by the way. He does the what is it? The Squid Cards. I apologize, Sydney. I don't want to mess that up, but yeah, he's got his own show on Let's Talk Football as well. Him and his wife, Ash, they do an uncensored kind of show too on Sunday nights, right before or during the Sunday night football game. It's good stuff.
Good stuff. I was on that show last weekend. It was their halftime show.
Unfiltered. Oh, wrong channel. No, you're on the right channel, Sydney. I'm glad you tuned in. Appreciate it, man. Don't be a stranger, man.
I can
Oh, here
talk.
we go.
I can talk Steelers with you. I don't care.
Sydney Swinton. Okay, he explained it to us. It's Squid Drips cards. No worries, man. TikTok and then Swinton's Unfiltered during Sunday's game. So, guys, right there on the screen, check that out if you want to see it. It's on Let's Talk Football. I will post that on the Ben Zone as well. So check them out. They are a lot of fun to watch. And for the Steelers, I meant, yes. And the Steelers, it's going to be an interesting game. They got to go to Carolina Sunday. Carolina's defense is getting a lot better. I got the Panthers in this game. I like Carolina to win this game. What do you guys think?
I think that if Carolina, I know I picked Carolina too. I expect them to win. But locally here, if the Panthers win this game, all right, every year they've got the nooses out for Tomlin. Every year here. For some reason, they just don't like Tomlin. All right. Although this will be his first losing season ever with them. They've been doing it. But you take when they're calling for his firing during the season, during the good seasons, and add to the losing season now, they're up in arms for him to be fired now. And I don't get it. I just don't. Fire him. I'll take him. I'll take him with the Bucs, man, in a heartbeat.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And I've said this before. I think Mike Tomlin may need a change of scenery. You know, it's not so much him. They just sometimes you just got to make that divorce happen. You know what I mean?
You know, the Rooney's won't do that, though. They don't fire coaches.
No, they have, they're very loyal. You know, I respect that, but I just don't know. I just don't think maybe they need that change. You know what I mean? Just for change's sake. You know?
Yeah.
You got a lot of comments from Sid.
They're favored and no Kenny, so I understand the hate. Let's not hate Sydney. I'm looking at that Panthers defense and I'm thinking, man, they went out and blew out Seattle. Now I know the score doesn't indicate that, but they went to Seattle and blew them out pretty much. They're up 17-0 in like the second quarter.
Yeah, they've turned it around a little bit.
Yeah. They're making it harder to fire Steve Wilkes. That's the thing. So
that's the thing, though. He comes in as an interim head coach.
Yeah.
Very seldom do these interim head coaches keep that job. So
right. Yeah. And
it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the offseason with them.
Yeah. Sounds like Alec needs safety goggles.
That wasn't even the comment I was talking about.
Well, you know. Yeah. I love Tomlin. Yeah, I do too. We all do. I think he's an incredible coach. I mean, Hall of Fame coach, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
I like the next comment he made.
Leave
the 9-8 thing.
Well,
we'll
Jason
take
might not want to. Yeah, 3 coaches since. Yep, that's the thing. That's the loyalty with the Rooneys. 3 coaches: Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and then Mike Tomlin. So, I think hasn't Tomlin been there longer than Cowher? I think he surpassed him, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
because Cowher left and went to coach Pitt there for a while.
Oh, okay. It's amazing, man. 3 coaches since 1970. We've had 3 coaches in like the last decade for the Bucs. They've had only 3 coaches since 1970. Wow. Rams give up 3 first-round choices for Tomlin.
Yeah, but he gave them to us. They gave them to us, so it didn't work out too well for us. Oh.
What, you don't like Sean McVay, Scott Taylor? You don't like Little Chucky? I mean,
absolutely not.
Yes. Oh, man. So, any other games you want to talk about that catch your eye?
Panthers, Steelers, we just talked about. Lions and Jets. We haven't mentioned the Lions and Jets yet.
Oh. No, and I'm going to tell you this right now, guys. The Lions, they can go 3-1 in their final 4 games easily. They're at the Jets, at Carolina. It'd be tough, but they could beat Carolina. They play the Bears. They can win that game.
I think they got a break when they decided to make Zach the starter this week, because Zach is not the quarterback that Mike White is.
I know. Yeah, and they play Green Bay at Green Bay, but Aaron Rodgers could be benched by then if they're eliminated. And listen to this. They beat the Giants. They beat the Commanders.
Aaron Rodgers.
But they got the tiebreaker. guys, over the Giants and Commanders. They beat them earlier in the year.
Yep.
And Seattle's fallen apart, even though Seattle beat them. Now Seattle they're slipping down in the obscurity. They still got to play the Jets. Bless you.
I don't personally think the Lions need to be scared of Aaron Rodgers either. I think they can beat him with Aaron Rodgers there. He's only got one target.
Yeah, with or without, yeah. I mean, the Lions could literally get that final wild card spot. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, they're playing great football right now, and I do got them winning too. In New York.
Already beat Minnesota once, didn't they?
Yep, they beat them last week. They beat the Packers. They beat the Bears. I think they're like 3-1 in their division, right? 3-1. Pretty good.
Scott's comments, good one.
It'll
probably put Ash off though.
Bengals. Yes, we are, Sydney. We got to show the Bucs a little love. They might not deserve it right now, but we got to show it. I know I probably missed it. Yeah. Anyway, Johnny is looking at this comment. All Super Bowls will be played in Dallas, so no home team can win their own stadium. I like that one. Yes, that is a good one. But Bucs, Rams have already won their Super Bowls at home, so yeah, first two to do it. Oh man, Alex. So, any other games that you're interested in, or you got your eye on for this weekend?
Well, I peeped someone's message in the group chat, and it makes me regret taking my pick for this week for the Falcons and Saints.
Oh, let's talk about that. Johnny, why are you changing your picks at the last second?
I went through the DBOA and Ritter.
Oh, come on. You can't do that. Once your picks are cemented, dude.
No, mine are changed.
He said he's a chairman.
I'm out to win, man. I'm not playing no games.
He's what you call he made an executive decision. He said he's a CEO, so he runs this. He can make anything else.
That's right.
Well then,
I make the rules, damn it.
Well, you can change all your picks before they're played. You just can't change after they're played, Alec.
Okay, in my defense, when I gave him the picks, I thought it changed in my app. And then on Sunday, I was like, there's 2 picks that wasn't supposed to be on there that I gave Alex. I was like, well, it's going to be a bad day. All right, I'll steal my picks.
Interesting question from City. You guys win your division. Would you want to play the Eagles or Cowboys in the first round? I would want to play the Cowboys.
Yeah, we know them pretty well.
Yes. Eagles, no, we'd get beat by them. I'm sorry. They're just too good. Too good.
So did you guys see
he always spits. Okay.
That's
you guys see what that
Well, go ahead, Alec. I didn't hear you.
Did you guys see that bozo Rex Ryan said on Monday?
Rex Ryan still alive?
You listen to him?
Apparently, he was on the I told you I don't have NFL Network like that, so I had to watch the ESPN morning. It's like before First Take they have. I guess he was like saying like, "Oh, Bucs defense is overrated. Devin White's not even a top. He's not even gonna be a top defender. Levante David is washed, stuff like that."
No. First of all, Levante David's not washed. He's still a very good linebacker.
Yes.
Devin White is good, but he's not great. Still a lot of missed tackles. He over pursues
but he's still leading. He's still at the top in the top 5 in tackles this year. So
yeah, but there's a lot of missed.
He's getting more tackles than he's missing. That happens to a lot of linebackers, dude. Happened to Ray. Well, even Ray Lewis missed a lot of tackles. So,
and also, if Giant wants to change his pick, I would like to take my Titans pick.
Go for it.
Because if you notice,
just make sure Alex gets word of
it. There's a trend, right? This may sound crazy, but every time no one really talks about Chargers, they pull off a win. Now, once everybody starts talking about them more, that's where they always lay an egg. It may sound crazy, but if you look at the whole season, it's happened where everybody's like, "Oh, the Chargers are winning. They can make a push," and then they just lay an egg.
Well, we'll see what happens this Sunday. Again, the Titans.
I didn't even think about that actually when I picked the Titans.
Yeah.
I picked the Titans because they have a great run game and the Chargers can't stop the run.
True. But again, also you got to realize that
Oh,
quarterback position, Justin Herbert, miles better than Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, but the secondary of the Titans is good too, and they haven't allowed a great passing game against them.
Yes. It'll be an interesting game. I took the Chargers slightly because I think they can get on a bit of a roll. You know, they had a big confidence booster against Miami. This is a big win for them. Like it could go either way, but I just went with the Chargers. You know, the Titans.
I agree. That's going to be a good game to watch too.
It will be, yeah. But it's on at the same time as the Bucs Bengals too. That's
I'll get to watch whatever they put on the damn TV for me, or I'll be on here.
I think you're eating the Bucs game, yeah, because most of the country is getting that game anyway. So I think Tennessee and Southern California is getting the.
Alec, you talked about ESPN and made me think about Shannon Sharp and that argument he had with his co-host there, which I will not name no more because he keeps bashing Brady.
Oh, that was on Undisputed on Monday. I heard about that.
Yeah, did you see that shit, man?
I mean, I came back live. I heard reactions.
He came back at Shannon Sharp, man. Like, all right, Shannon Sharp, he's got 3 Super Bowls. All right, he's a great player. Don't demean Shannon Sharp just because you're a fucking idiot. You know. Fuck you, Skip
What's
Bayless.
his name again?
Skip Bayless.
It got really personal between Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp.
There he is. Good. You said you were going to.
Oh fuck! Damn.
Gotcha. Yes. 1-0 bet.
Shit Bayless. Okay, we'll call him Shit Bayless then.
Said Shit Bayless.
Oh man, I like when I get. Good thing we're doing this show this late. Top
that was uncalled for, man. You don't get personal just because you're losing an argument and can't think of anything else to say. Fuck that.
Oh come on, Skip's like 90. Okay?
Shit, Bayless. Crap, man. Okay. I've never been a fan of his, but he ruined any image of intelligence he had for me. Come on, dude. You're fucking telling a fucking Hall of Fame 3-time Super Bowl champion that he couldn't play football. Fuck you, you dumb shit.
I mean, I've with Skip Bayless, I don't know, like after like they're falling out with First Take, everything he just says is just in one ear and out the other.
Minutia.
Well, that's what they do. That's all sports talk is. You know, these debate shows. That's what they do. They
do a lot of it for ratings, but that personal shot was too much, man. It was over the top for me.
That's why, like, sometimes I watch like the shows that I'm kind of stuck with, and I wish I can actually watch like NFL Total Access on NFL Network, which I hope they still have. I wouldn't know because I don't have NFL Network. But
there's a question. There's a question here. Since holiday season's coming up, what are you doing, guys? What are you guys doing for Christmas?
Working.
Same
every
here.
year.
Same here. Yeah. Johnny.
Picking my nose and farting. I don't know. Eating. it's the same every year.
Nothing wrong with that. Oh man. So, what else do you guys want to talk about here on tonight's show? Anything interesting?
You want to go over these 3 games tomorrow? I mean, they look interesting, man. The Vikings Colts game could be really interesting. Yeah, if Jonathan Taylor ever wakes back up, it could be a really interesting game. I'm not so sure. I don't like either one of the teams right now. Scott Dollar, you're a fucking asshole.
Ooh.
Sorry, that talk doesn't happen on this show till about March.
The Ravens and Browns, that's an interesting game because we've seen that guy at quarterback for the Browns. We've seen him improve in the last 3 games in his play, but the Browns' play still has gone down and their defense isn't that great anymore.
Yeah. And again, you're Watson, this is his 3rd game. So, he may be getting better as the weeks go along, even though there's only a few games left. But like you said, Tyrod Taylor. I'm sorry, Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley. Yeah, I started to say Trent Huntley.
Why do I say Tyler? I know I get them mixed up. Huntley, like you're saying, is a better fit for the Greg Roman offense, which I kind of agree with you on. He looks good. He looks comfortable in it. He's making better throws, better decision making. Although, again, he doesn't have the athleticism and the arm that Lamar Jackson has. But like you said, he's playing with himself and the team. So, it
seems to make the team work better with him in the back there.
Right. Yeah. And again, the Ravens defense is, always good. They're picking it up the last few weeks. So this will be a fun game. It's going to be one of those, like you say, John, those AFC North kind of games. Black and blue.
It's one of those rivalry games where it's just blood and thunder.
It's like the old Cleveland Browns versus the new Cleveland Browns.
Right.
Pretty much what it is. So, and then
absolutely what it is.
Yeah. And then we got a snow game on in Buffalo. Dolphins
possibly snow. We don't know. Possibly. It could be freezing rain. Either way, it's out to its element. He's played 2 games like that and lost both of them.
Did you guys see that shirt?
You heard that? Yeah, I played in the snow in Alabama. That's
no. You know, see the shirt from the Miami head coach. They were like they turned the temperature down in the inside the facility. He said on his shirt it says "I like it colder."
Yeah, then why did they have the heaters in Los Angeles? That's what started all this conversation about the weather with them. It's because they had all those heaters lined up around them in Los Angeles. If you're that cold in Los Angeles, you're really going to be cold up here.
It doesn't compare.
I think it's like
I don't understand why
it's like 30 degrees where you're at right now.
It's 27 and with a wind chill.
So Buffalo should probably be around like the 15s. I'm assuming.
Yeah, you drop it by 5 or 6 degrees for Buffalo, but Buffalo's gone right on the lake and gets that lake effect. It's a bitch.
Yeah. Yep.
And Buffalo seems those snow games. They seem to play
because
amazing.
The other night I was watching the timeline. Remember the NFL timeline shows the Fog Bowl, Philly and
man, that was a great fucking game. That shit just rolled in like the Fog, the movie The Fog.
But it was on Lake Michigan where Soldier Field is. It's like you brought up where the lake with Buffalo, Lake Ontario, that wind coming in. But like the Chicago, that playoff game, the Eagles and Bears, I remember that very well. What were you gonna say, Alec? I'm sorry, I cut you off there for a minute. What were you gonna say?
No, I was saying the Bills, like, I don't know what it is. Some snow games, they seem to take full advantage of that.
Well, absolutely.
Just like the Colts and Bills last time, I think like a couple of years ago.
You don't have to go back that far. This year, the last time the Bills played Miami took full advantage of the heat. So it's tit for tat now.
I mean, any people that play in Miami take advantage of the heat because their sideline's like 40 degrees higher. They're like in that direct sunlight. I feel like whoever built that stadium, they knew exactly what they were doing when they did that.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Guess he's got to go. So
I think it wasn't like when Cleveland played, they had like the little shade things covering them on the sideline.
Sure,
Cleveland game. Which one are you talking about?
It was like when the Browns played in Miami. They had like because the way the way team is at on the sideline, the sunlight goes directly at them. So they had like these big walls, like to cover them up.
Because they built that a few years ago. They built that canopy kind of thing for when they did the renovations for Hard Rock Stadium. It's like a canopy. Like you can have for the visiting side to have a certain the sun comes this way during the day. So they designed it that way specifically for the
Raymond James is just as bad on the east side of the field, man. It's just you'll melt out there. It will, as fans, it melts the fans, dude. It's like,
I would know.
Those are hardcore
these days.
You're a hardcore fan. Everybody talks about the Bills fans and all those guys, the Vikings guys and stuff out there in the cold without shirts on. Got to give the Bucs fans credit too, man, because those guys sit out there in that heat in that magnifying glass of a stadium and just melt, dude.
Wasn't
And
the
it's
sombrero?
the
Wasn't the
sombrero
sombrero
was horrible,
worse?
man. That was horrible.
Mhm.
Except that people
Hey, guess who
people
we
told me
got
that
here?
the
Let's just pop up in here. Mr. Handy himself and number one Bayless Basher.
I just
Yes,
wanted
Jay.
to say for the record, gentlemen, I appreciate the backup, but I was ready to call on the spirits of float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And then then there was a little part of me that wanted this little part of me that was the little Mike Tyson he got on my ear and he just said, bite him on the ear. He won't know the difference. I was ready to come across the table. Let me tell you something, gentlemen. In case you haven't noticed, if a black man take off his glasses during the middle of an argument, that means it's about to go down. There's something that the DJ that started playing Nuck If You Buck, and the ladies that out on the dance floor dancing to back that thing up, and something is about to happen.
Well,
Folks do something.
Off.
Well, yeah,
So now we're
yeah,
gonna
he
get-
took his glasses. Yeah, he took his glasses off and stood up, man.
He
He was ready to go.
said, Skip, you would shame me to make that man look good. I got 3 Super Bowls. I'm in the Pro Hall of Fame. Because what Skip said was, that's why Tom Brady is still playing at 45 and you quit. He didn't say retired. He said you quit at 35.
Yep.
Mind you, Shannon Sharp right now looked like he could walk through a wall. Matter of fact, he's more swole now than he was when he was in the league. Anyway.
I'm with you, buddy. That pissed me off so friggin' much, man.
So how y'all fellas doing?
I'm
Doing
great.
good.
Even better now that you're here, man. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
You starting to sound a little bit like Jason Swade. You better watch yourself.
I was thinking that when he said it. When he said it, I was waiting for that comeback.
I'm doing better now that you're here, Big Daddy. Hey. How you doing?
Thinking I meant that as a friend. I don't know what you're thinking. Where's your mind at?
Look. I've been reading Jason Swade and Hammy Jammy's comments on every show all week. Scared your boy so bad, Johnny. He ain't want to come back on the show no more.
Oh man.
Well, Scott left the show early. Alex's good friend Scott Thaler. We just didn't want to talk about baseball, but I guess he was like,
hey, he's just poking at me, man.
Oh, by the way, Ben.
Yeah.
Good job to your Dodgers for not for getting that one bozo out of there.
And by the way, Scott, screw your Dodgers.
That guy, I forgot his freaking name. Gallo.
Hey, I don't know if you heard it or not yet, Anthony. But I dropped the Saints and picked the Falcons for this week.
Good looking out. It ain't gonna do no good, but good looking out.
Well, I think the Falcons really got this game, dude. I really do.
I'm just saying, I've been watching the Falcons for a long time. I grew up in Georgia, me and Sterling. You know, we grew up poor. Our granny raised us. I like to tell that story all the time. If you don't know our granny raised us by now, then you just don't know. But I grew up I've been watching the Falcons play a long time. And as a kid, I used to just be excited because I played for a little league team called the Falcons. It's like, the Falcons is on TV. The Falcons is on TV. And then I got older and I said, Daddy, they kind of suck, don't they? He said, yeah, son, they suck. But we got Billy. But look at Billy White Shoes Johnson doing the funky chicken. But it is what it is. You know, I hope they win. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game for sure. I mean, you know, you had him the first game, then the Saints came all the way back. So there is some revenge for the last time. It is in New Orleans. And by the way, you spoke of his name, and here he is.
Listen. Has anybody? Is it me, or am I the only person that thinks that Jason Swade profile picture looked like if David Spade and Martina Navratilova had a kid?
Oh man!
Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
No, you're not. In fact, remember this, guys?
Right.
During last section. There they are. Man, you gotta admit, you know, at least we got a following. You know, whether
we do, whether we wanted it or not, we got it. We didn't
I
ask.
love these guys. They bring something to the show.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
yes, they do. Hey, look, we didn't know what we were going to be able to do to top Deshaun Watson night, the top Cleveland Steamer night.
Oh,
and now we have our own built-in on fire comment section. Jason Swade, Hammy Jammy, and your female friend that we haven't seen since like 3 weeks ago. We joke, but we appreciate y'all tuning in every single week. Y'all make all the comments y'all want to from over there. That's what I'm saying.
Problem is, they're getting too friendly with each other, man. Hammy and Jason, I haven't seen any fights lately, man.
I don't know. Maybe they brokered a deal.
Yeah, maybe they decided to share.
Maybe they're tag teaming. Whoops! There it is.
Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is.
There he is.
I'm sorry. Don't take offense. It's just a picture. I know that's not your real picture. I'm just saying. Because I give me a minute, I will figure out who that is on that profile picture. But I'm just saying. We do appreciate you though.
Yeah. Well,
Anthony, did you see
what?
Did you see your boys argue on Monday? Skip Bayless and
yeah, I saw it.
That's when he came in. Look,
I can't. You were too busy looking at your phone when I talked about it. The whole time I was talking. Listen,
my Wi-Fi's out in my office.
There.
You were sitting right there where you are right now. When I came on the show, that's the first thing I talked about. This is what you were doing when I was talking.
My bad, fingers.
It's all good. It's all good. You good, man. I'm just clowning. I got jokes.
It's like, Jason, no biting.
No, you actually have Jason behind you on the green screen. You're just, protecting him.
Which hotel? God. One of those hotels or what?
I love that setup you got, by the way, Ben, with the town.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's Las awesome. Vegas. City of Vegas, nighttime.
I don't know. I don't know, Alec. If it was if you gave Jason a choice between the two cities, I think he would be closer to you because y'all got sailors down there.
I don't know, man. I think if Ben focused in on those alleys behind him, there you might see.
Oh
Jason.
God, not the alleys! Come on, Johnny. Come on, Johnny.
You know those alleys.
Damn. You know good hell well they couldn't.
Those alleys, man. I know.
They couldn't be in none of them alleys. You know they don't get good Wi-Fi down there to be sending no comments on a podcast.
Oh man,
it's like that woman from Bad Santa. Where Billy Bob Thornton would go to that black hooker.
Oh man,
the hookers that kind of remind me of. Come get some of this pumpernickel, baby.
Jesus God. I think they just sat in a room for the script and they just said, let's just throw whatever crazy stuff that we can throw at each other and we're going to record it and then we're just going to put it in the script. The crazier, the better. And that's exactly what happened.
I got to watch that movie. I think I'm going to watch that this weekend again.
I missed it.
Well, what about Bad Santa 2 where he got to hook up with Christina Hendricks?
I never watched Bad Santa 2.
It was pretty good. The first one was way better, but
absolutely,
yeah. But the second one was pretty good. I mean,
wasn't she like his probation officer? She was like his probation officer or something like that, right?
Well, she worked at that. I believe it was at that church or not
the boys' school, the Catholic school,
yeah.
The Catholic school where the boy went.
Right. Yep. So. Man, Billy Bob.
Orphanage. Just say it like it is. It's an orphanage. I grew up in them damn things.
Oh, okay.
Is my Facebook feed that far behind? Not Facebook, YouTube. I'm sorry. Oh, it's just a few. It's way behind. There we go. Now it's caught up. Because I just looked down and saw the party can now start. I was like, that was like 20 minutes ago. Is YouTube running that slow? Am I in Las Vegas?
No, you're in Oklahoma.
You're not that far.
No,
About a
no.
4-hour flight. Yeah.
Not as far as I was when I was in Georgia. That's for sure. That was the last time I was in Las Vegas. 1980, 99,
Wow.
99.
99.
Oh, you were partying last 1999, huh?
Yeah. Well, we were doing a rotation at Fort Irwin for NTC, and we got one R&R day, and it wasn't even a full day. We got there like 8 o'clock in the morning, and we had to be back at 6 to get on the bus.
I gotta ask you, okay? You were there, you were in the military. I gotta ask you, were they freaking the fuck out about Y2K?
No.
I know for you younger people that's not nothing you should worry about, but for us older people, that was like the end of the world apocalypse coming up, man.
No, well, I was in a combat unit, and most of what we did didn't have anything to do with computers, so no. So I don't know about the folks that work the logistics and the IT. They probably were jumping through hoops.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Anthony, congrats on your win last Saturday. Even though,
Go Dogs.
Keep it up. Well, don't keep
the
it
Army
up.
Navy
Don't
game.
keep it up.
Oh, the Army Navy game. Ah, yes, sir.
Yeah,
that's right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking last week was a conference.
Shit.
Yeah. Dude,
yeah, it was.
Wasn't it trying to catch up with that record, ain't you?
You know what though? I hate the one thing. I mean, I'm glad that Army won, but the one thing that I do hate about it is that Coach Ken wound up getting fired, because I did like, even though he was coaching Navy, I did like Coach Ken.
Yeah.
Dude, wasn't it fucked up though how they fired him after the game? Like they told him in the locker room, "You're fired." That's what they pretty much did to the guy. I mean,
hey, look, he's working for the He's working for a United States military academy. There are no cut cards with the military. It's, hey, get on in here. You jacked up. Give us your rank. We're taking it. We're gonna take this amount of money from you for 90 days. You're gonna be confined for 30. You're gonna be confined to company area for 30 days. Thank you. Have a good day. They don't play around.
No, and it sends a message to everybody else in the room too when they do it in the locker room. It sends them a big message, you know. Some of you guys are going right with him.
This man brought up the 45.
Well, good God.
Oh gosh, I hate that shit.
45 days of confinement, 45 days of extra duty. That means that
month's pay times 2.
you cannot go anywhere except to your place of duty and your barracks room.
Yep.
And that's it. It's like being on permanent timeout as a grown-ass man. And 45 days of extra duty, which means that after your workday is done, then you got to be the bitch boy for whoever's on the chain of command. Yeah, KP, mopping and sweeping, cleaning out toilets, whatever. And that's normally until what, by 2100, Alec? 2200?
I mean, it depends on where. I mean, on a ship, it's usually about 20, 21.
Yeah, if you're on a ship, you're screwed anyway, because your place of residence, you're already floating on your place of residence. It's not like you can be like, yeah, I'm gonna stop by the PX on the way. But like if you're like, and that, I think that it depends on the level of what you have done. If you live off post, they can assign you a barracks room and make you stay on post, which means you have a barracks room. You stay in your barracks. You come down, do PT, go do your job during the day, get done, go report to the staff duty, NCO, and be bitch boy till 9, 10 o'clock at night. And then you got to go back to your barracks room. And that's all you can do for 45 days.
Now, Alex,
just made that comment.
How many times were you a bitch boy?
Who, me?
No, Alec.
I never, to be honest with you, surprisingly not. I actually never got restriction.
Really?
I've seen people that go.
Well, you must be a completely different person on the job than you are here.
No, I'm saying like surprisingly, like with all my like back talk, like I told like chiefs to go fuck off and eat a dick and all that stuff. Like basically all this stuff like that people actually get in trouble for. I'm surprised I haven't gotten in trouble for.
Is that Sean?
But I've seen
so,
like
yeah.
I've seen people like get like that restriction. They'll get like that half month's pay times 2, and that shit is brutal.
Oh yeah.
I'll see your Herm Edwards and raise you a Tom Landry.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Who was that they fired? They were on a road game, and they fired him, and they fired him at the game and essentially said, "Find your way home."
Yeah, and he had to find his own way home. Yeah, I remember that.
College coach, pro coach, and it was like last year before, and I can't remember.
Oh shit, who was that?
Yeah, it must have been a bad loss.
Dungy got shit too by the
yeah, they did Dungy dirty. They met him in the end zone on the way to the locker room. Like, no, don't even go in there.
Yeah,
but I'm honestly surprised I haven't gotten in trouble. Like, my attitude's been contagious, but hey,
contagious.
New military.
You mean there's more people out there acting like you now?
It's the new military, bro. Listen, let me, Alec, if I may. In my day, if you came wrong at one of the NCOs, you might be subject to be the NCO be like, come on, let's go around the corner. We'll knuckle up. And may the best man win. And I'm not making that up. One of my drill sergeants beat the hell out of a dude in my platoon in basic training. Yeah, we'll knuckle up. But you go around the corner thinking it's just you and him, and it's him and one of his boys. And then you go back all busted up and got a lot of your boys about, yeah, I got a good couple licks in, when it's obvious you got your ass whooped, but you acted right after that.
Right.
I mean, and back in the day, if you didn't want to put hands on them, you could PT the hell out of them, PT them until they puke. Now you can't even do knife hand. I don't know. I think the Marine Corps took the Marine Corps took away the knife hand.
Yeah. Wow. Like in boot camp when I was in, like I see boot camp now compared to what it was before. Like they'll like every single day they'll just like find something that like they make you do push-ups, sit-ups, like until your arms are sore. And it's just like now in boot camp they have like stress cards where if you feel like they're PTing you too much, you just pull the card out, the stress card, and then they just stop the whole stop the whole thing, which is kind of weak. And now they have iPads and stuff like that.
Yeah, these kids in basic training with cell phones and stuff like that. I was like, we had a 2-hour period. We had a 2-hour period on Sunday where we got to call home. There was a whole bank of payphones, and for those of y'all that payphones, what are those, Grandpa? You used to actually have to put money or have a calling card to use the payphone. You got to make a call home. I went to the shop and got a calling card, and I would call my girlfriend and say, "Hey, I'm doing fine, baby. Blah blah blah. I gotta go. Bye. 5 minutes. That's 5-10 minutes. That's all you had. And if you wanted to keep talking, you had to go back to the back of the line and get back and make your way back to the phone. And like my girl would sit by the phone from like 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock and wait for me to call. And that was it. One time a week. You mean to tell me you are so addicted to this fucking piece of shit that they have convinced us that makes us, wow, that's the most I've ever cursed on any show. You're so addicted to this right here.
We're rubbing off on you.
That you can't. I'm normally really bad on a normal basis, but I try and keep it roped in when I'm on the shows. You so addicted to this that you can't go without this for 8 weeks, or at least not have it for 6 days out of the week.
Cool.
The crazy part is like
Nicole, thanks for tuning in tonight. I appreciate you coming on. She's got a show they do on Let's Talk Football called NFC South.
She's the Saints fan.
Show. Yep. Yeah, she's a Saints fan.
And she's also now the newest cast member of Let's Talk Football Ladies Takeover on Thursday nights.
Congratulations, Nicole. Congratulations.
Yes, Nicole. And good stuff. That is a great show, the ladies show. Janae, Kate, Delilah, and Nicole. Man, they bring it every Thursday night. So check them out.
I gotta say this, man. Janae, they better keep a tight leash on her, man, because somebody's gonna pick her up. Hollywood would love her, man. She is awesome.
Oh, she's fun. She is very fun to listen to, man.
Janae's a nut.
They've done it for 6 years, I think, right, Anthony?
Yeah, they started with Let's Talk. They started with just the Let's Talk Football show 6 years ago. Yeah.
I saw that.
They used to do the show from the storage room or something in the back of the church, and now it has evolved into a lineup of. A lineup of what is it, 7 or 8 shows?
Wow.
Because there's Let's Talk Football and me and Colin on Monday. There's Roundtable on Tuesday. There's Washington Football Weekly on Wednesday. Thursday night is the ladies show. And if Colin and I have another show, then we go and the NFC South. excuse me. There's fantasy football also on Thursday. Friday, I don't even know what's on Friday. Saturday is the college football show. Sunday is the pregame NFL show, and then in the off season is the Let's Talk Football Swinton's in the morning. So there's like 8 or 9 programs that
I
evolved.
don't know how Sean does it, man.
That evolved from one YouTube show in the back of a church.
Right.
Plus they added, and then they added us to the lineup, and now, they're shouting out Ben Zone and NSD and Bucs Report and all these other shows. It's crazy.
And
so if you tie the whole and Big Nate Sports Podcast, if you tie all the shows together, you're talking 12, 13 shows. Like that's literally enough to start a podcast network.
Yeah, Nathan Snell, by the way, has his show now, so check him out.
Bring your sports game with Big Nate Sports Talk. That sound familiar. Sound familiar, don't it?
Yes.
It does. Oh, speaking of Anthony, they had one person. I think it was like last week. Like he's been in the military like for like less than a year now, and he told me yesterday that the way they do it now. Like they usually have taps at like 10, but now it changes where they have taps at 9 and they get to sleep until 7. I was I used to get IT or PT to like 11 until I had to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, this is too soft nowadays.
Nah, taps is always every post I've ever been on, taps is always at 11. But
ours is at like 10:30 if we're lucky. Like it would be 10 sometimes if we had like depending on some situations, but usually like it's like 10:30 for us.
Yeah, and that's one thing about the military is if you don't have a watch, you can always tell what time it is because you got Reveille and every army post I was on, Reveille was at 6:30, chow call was at noon, and taps was at 11.
And they have
man, it's all changed since I was young. My dad was a Navy SEAL instructor when SEALs were just beginning, and all that shit you're talking about, man, that's just crazy, man. Those guys are up at 4 o'clock in the morning, man, out there.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, early.
Yeah.
Man,
they'd go on night missions in training and boot camp. They'd go on night missions in boot camp, and come back 13 hours later, and shit was crazy, man.
Yes.
Yeah, even when I first got there, it was like the first like couple nights. No one told me that like when you first get there, they would say rest in peace to your sleep for the next 2 days, because it's trying to stay awake like the introduction and everything. That shit was brutal.
Well, dude, we got. Sleep. Did you get shark attacked? Because we got shark attack. They did away with shark attack too, gentlemen. If y'all don't know what shark attack is, that's day 0. That's when you get off the bus and you are immediately met by an entire fleet, an entire flock of brown rounds. They're just on you.
Like when we walked in, like I thought it was gonna be like, but I mean, I had low expectations going.
Wait, did you say walked in?
No, like because we got off the bus, you walk into like because ours was in Chicago, so you walk into like the building, and no one told me that because there's flags on the floor, like flag tiles,
and
no one told me that if you step on that, it's like they'll like all the RDCs will be all over you, like going like this, knife handing you. So my tip of my toe touched like the end of the flag, and I was done after that point.
I'm still mind blown at the fact that you were allowed to walk in because they get your asses off the bus. Get off my goddamn bus. Get off the bus now. Everything that you heard in Full Metal Jacket and then some.
Yep.
No, it's like when we were supposed to run, like normally they would run in, but I guess like that time we were at, like the entry off the bus, it was all iced. So it was like we kind of like dodged a bullet on that one. But even like when they told you like to make that phone call, like everybody, like, there was like that one person that had like the phone call. I was trying to like make it like longer than like the 2 minutes, and that RDC was just going to town. It's like knife handing, and then he was like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "Sorry."
I
It was
got
like,
my second oldest boy is a drill sergeant in the army right now. He's in or a staff sergeant. He's in not Okinawa. He's in Japan, some fucking where, one of them towns.
that's in Vegas.
This is his third fucking tour over there, man. He keeps requesting to go back. He's probably going to move there when he's set and done.
Japan is the bomb, though. That's one duty station I wanted. Japan and Germany were the two I wanted to at least go to that I never got.
Do you know I was supposed to get orders there next year?
Which ones did you go to, Anthony? Like during your service time?
I was stationed at. I like I told you, I grew up in Georgia. My first duty station was in Georgia. The post was 40 minutes from my house. I didn't even have to pack up or move or anything. I went to basic training. I went to A school. I graduated. I went home to my house, and then the next day, I just got in the car and drove to the
Anthony,
post.
What was your recruiter's approach? What did he promise you?
Oh gosh.
He promised me that I could get into PA school because I was a pre-med student at that point. Believe it or not, I was very interested in medicine and the medical sciences at that point, and I wanted to go to med school. And so the recruiter was like, "Well, we can send you to PA school, which is not medical school per se, but it's a fast track. It's a 2-year school that the U.S. Army has. You would be a physician's assistant." And then with those credentials, you could then apply to go to the U.S. Academy, the U.S. Medical Academy or whatever, where you do the whole shebang and you graduate as an MD. Well, what it didn't tell me was that was on an acceptance basis. Like that's not something that you could just guarantee in a packet. Right. So I enlisted thinking that I was going to PA school any day now. And then I deployed to Kuwait and came home and hadn't gone to PA school. And then I got sent to Korea and back and still hadn't gone to PA school. And by then I had gotten letters of recommendation and stuff like that. I found out you actually had to apply. So I got all my stuff together, got my letters of recommendation, got all my correspondence scores up, my PT test scores up, all that stuff. And sent my packet in and did not get accepted because the year that I applied, the cycle that I applied on, they were looking for guys that worked in SOCOM, the special ops guys, right? Because they were losing a lot of their docs and nurses. So I didn't get into PA school. So I did one more tour at Stewart, and then I put in for a skill identifier so that I could get another medical skill on top of the one I had. And they sent me to San Antonio, and then from there I went to Fort Belvoir and I worked in a hospital. My first.
So you got to the hospital. There you go.
Yeah, my first 7.5 years, I was in the mud, in the muck. I was the doc that was humping right along with the rest of the guys. God, I just realized what I just said. Anyway, but my last 2.5 years, I wound up working in a hospital in a physical therapy clinic. So, but that was what he promised me. And he didn't necessarily lie. He just didn't tell me the whole truth.
I was going to say, if you want to become a recruiter, just go in and say that you lie better than anybody else, because them fuckers,
you got to.
They can tell you some lies, buddy.
You got to. We had a guy in my platoon. At my second tour at Fort Stewart that was a full-on MD in Barbados. Like he had gone to college, he had gone to graduate school, he had gone to medical school. He was an MD. He wanted to work in the hospital. The recruiter told him, "Oh yeah, we'll get you to a hospital." He sent him to a line unit for mechanized infantry. The RPA was asking our junior buck private medic, "What should I do with this guy?" The freaking captain with 15 years of service in the military is asking the buck private because the buck private was an actual MD. He managed to get out. He didn't stay very long. He got out after 4 months or something like that. For wrongful enlistment, and the Army sent him home, gave him a fat check, and I think they paid him out his salary for the term of whatever his term of enlistment was.
Well, Alec, what was you looking to go for when you went into the recruiting office?
I mean, mostly because being in Florida, in well, you know Polk County, Johnny. it's like because growing up, it's like you seeing everybody.
He was
Like,
just trying to get the fuck out.
no, I mean that's basically what it was. Like everybody seeing this till this day. I still seeing the same people doing the same thing. It's just I just wanted to get out of that like stuck mindset. And my dad being prior military, I mean, I wasn't trying to follow his footsteps, but I was like, I needed like that little step to like get me like somewhere in life and try to see like where that takes me from there. And like
Have
since
you
I've like
tried skill identifier with the military?
said skill identifier,
Yeah.
what's that? I mean, wait, what's that equivalent to?
So basically, I don't know how it works in the Navy, but in the Army, you get a primary MOS, and then your MOS falls within a certain classification. Like in the medical field, you've got doctors, you've got nurses, you've got medics, you got and then you have
Oh,
special, and then you have certain
like
specialties.
rate,
So
like
what I
rate.
did, yeah, I guess so. So what I did was I was a medic, and I went to Texas and went through the physical therapy course. So it didn't change my MOS, but I now was a medic who also knew how to do physical therapy with that skill identifier on the back end of my MOS. So that allowed me to go and work in the hospital.
Oh, now I see what you're saying, Johnny. Now I see what you're saying.
Because what they did was the army got slick. Well, I won't say slick, but with op tempo picking up after Desert Storm, and then especially after 9/11, what the military did was they did away with a lot of medical MOSs where people could only be assigned to hospitals, so that everybody that came in had to be a medic first, and then all those other jobs were skill identifiers. So nobody that comes into the medical field, except for the MDs and stuff like that, none of them are guaranteed that they'll be in a hospital. You're a medic first and a physical therapist second. You're a medic first and an occupational therapist second. Like, yeah. So that was what my thing was. I went to Fort Sam and got excuse me. I went to Fort Sam and got that physical therapy skill identifier.
Yeah,
Listen,
for me
guys.
it
I mean,
was
I'm sorry. I'm just saying real
it was
quick. People thinking,
my bad.
why are we only talking about this? Well, let's have at it. We can talk about anything here, and this makes me appreciate the military even more. And I thank you guys for your service. I love hearing stuff
Absolutely.
like this. I think it's great. And I'm sorry again, Alec, for cutting you off. What were you gonna say?
Oh, it's like for like the skill identifier. Why I joined? This is low key where the military kind of like hoed me in a way. Because now that apparently the ASVAB score now is like a 10. I don't know why they changed it to a 10 entry score. Because apparently they're desperate. But I was trying to like
wait, a
Whoa,
10
shit.
yeah. If you look it up, that's the ASVAB entry score now is a 10.
for frame of reference for those of you that are watching. The ASVAB is graded just like any other test on a scale of 0 to 100.
Yep.
And it used to be that you had to have at least a minimum score of 60 to get in the military. And anything under 60, they're like, yeah, you're going to be a grunt.
The Navy used to be a 80, 85, and I think the Air Force was a 90.
Yeah, because when I did my ASVAB, it was. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is like a year after I graduated, and like the Polk County education in my school, and not like all Polk County education. I guess it was my school education. It was bad. Like I mean, my GPA was good. It's like I guess like from when I graduated till that day I took the ASVAB, I guess like shit hit the fan, math wise. I got like a 50 on mine, and I was supposed to go to like the job I wanted to get was ABH, which is like equivalent to like flight deck where they work with all the aircrafts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they promised me that dead set job, and then they told me, like, "Oh, we can get you out of here sooner, but like, we'll give you a different job that still works in the same air, like works in the airfield."
Bait
I
and
was
switch,
okay. I was like,
baby.
well, I didn't see the job, like I didn't know the job's name on top of my head. I was looking at the abbreviations. I was like, okay, sounds about air, that sounds like it's an air job. And then I signed it like an idiot. Then I go home. That's what my dad was like, oh, like I got the airfield job I wanted. He said, what is it? I gave the initials. He was like, you fucked up. I was like, how? He's like that's a supply field. I was like, oh fuck. That's what I was, I was so.
So,
I was like,
there's
the
a
Navy already
ceiling
starting
on that,
early.
isn't there? There's
Huh?
like a ceiling on the supply. You
No,
can only go up so far, and then you're just shut off, and you're staying
I
at
got the
same position
worst in
forever.
supply field. Like I
Wow.
wanted logistics specialist. They gave me food admin.
What you need to do is find out what you're really passionate about, because from what you've told me, it seems like you've hit your ceiling there, right?
I mean, being in like food supply is kind of trash. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It's really fucking trash. Like people say they say oh it's a benefit, but like because like everybody like always like goes to you for like
How hard
hookups.
is it to change specialties, man?
I mean, I'm already close to getting I'm almost close to getting out. Like once like seeing how the military is now and how like people just get away with stuff like that, like how it like the Navy before I joined, I was actually fine with that. But now I'm starting to see it slowly decline and like it's just like I'm not trying to like not disrespecting the military, it's just the direction it's going towards. I'm not trying to be a part of that. It's just sad to see it, seeing people get benefits even though they don't do shit, and the people that work hard, they just say, "Oh, just keep trying. You'll get like the awards stuff like that." But no, they award the people that don't do shit that just kiss ass like
Trust me,
the
it's the
higher up.
same way on the outside, man. It's the same way on
Well,
the
I mean,
outside.
what the job that I'm looking for is like my friend. He has his business that his dad just started up. They just got the LLC 2 weeks ago, and they're starting to apply. They're already hiring people, and his dad said that he's that I'm like the top 5 people that they're gonna hire when I get out. So I already have the backup job, and I told him like the command I was at now. That's like the direction I'm going towards. And of course, they don't like hearing that. They're like, "Oh, that's a bad idea." Look at the better thing, like the better side of the military. I'm like, I give them the benefit of the doubt after because when I first joined, said don't let your first command make the like don't let your first command give you like the whole inside of the military and think that's the be all end all. So I went to shore, and it's just like it's the same shit. I'm like,
I think a lot of that's
I
because you
enjoy
went
the
in
military.
not knowing what you really wanted out of the military.
Well, I got what I wanted out of it, but it's just like it's
I
like
mean, as
on a
far as
decline of where it's going right now.
I'm talking
I'm
about, as
not,
far as job training and stuff like that, and what it's going to help you on the outside, because the military, that little mark, a veteran, does help
yeah.
you outside, dude. It
That's why
does.
they have like this new program called like Skill Bridge, where it's like you're still like you'll still get like you'll still get a military paycheck, but they also like say like, oh, like what job field do you want to go to, like what's one you're trying to aim for, and they'll give you courses to take and like classes. You'll still be in the military, so it's like a year or so when you get out, and you'll like take these courses to get your degree, and then from there once you get your degree, they start giving you let you put applications in and give you references, and they put you in a job field that you wanted to. Because my friend that he was gonna get out and he was going for IT, and he went to school for it. Now he's getting paid 6 figures
Ben, can
in
you
that
check
job
out
field.
Nicole's comment below there? Because that's
I,
the only person I've ever heard say that is Cynthia Freeland.
Yeah,
I have to
I have
wake
to
up
wake
with
up with
math, or
math,
else I
or else
don't
I
wake
don't
up.
wake up. And she thanks you and myself. Thank you for your services, guys. This is
Yeah, this
good
like the
stuff.
job field I'm at right now. It's like people is like they'll say, "Oh yeah," like people always go for the people that work in the food area because they always go for the hookup. And it's a thankless. It is really thankless because the hours we work is terrible. But I mean, I don't like my whole experience. I never looked back and said I regretted it. The places I've seen, like the different, like because military is like it's like Florida. It's like a melting pot. You get people from different parts of the world,
Mhm.
different areas, and it's like I never regretted that at all. Meeting people and saying actually like making connections with everybody, learning stuff from their way of life and how they operate.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome, man. That's a good way to look at
For
it,
sure.
for sure. Well, guys, I
especially
got to tell you, this
countries.
was a interesting show tonight. I loved it. I enjoyed the military talk. Again, let's have at it. Talk about whatever you guys want to talk about.
I got one question for Anthony.
Sure.
Go ahead.
How comfortable were them walls last night, man?
Oh, dude, I zonked out. I told that story at work today and got laughed at again. Dude, I was in the conversation, and then the next thing I remember, all I heard was, "Man, Anthony is gone." Huh? What?
You look so comfortable there against the fucking walls you got there. I was like,
man,
oh shit.
This chair is comfortable, and if I lean back right here, and it's just like a pillow. That's it. I'm out. I did it again tonight before earlier.
Damn, narcoleptic very much?
Nah, man, just tired as hell. New responsibilities at work, and I'm learning a new job. And my boss and I are the only two people learning it right now. It's more of a job for realistically, it should be about 6 or 7 people.
We were paving 441 in Orlando, and we had a guy on there that was narcoleptic. And he was running the screws on the paver. That's standing on the back deck of a paver, and keeping the height of the asphalt coming out right. We had to keep checking on him because he'd pass slap out, standing there like just sleeping away, man. We have to keep an eye on him and shit.
God.
I saw that. You don't have to do that. Don't do that. Don't you do that, Ben Cornett.
Did you catch that one he had for Anthony up earlier?
I saw that one too.
Oh my God. This is my favorite one, probably right here. Give me 100 push-ups now, Alec. But wait. Probably lay down before you start.
The crazy part is my RDC from boot camp, he's out. He actually lives out here now. I saw him the other day. And yeah, he was like seeing people with the RDC mindset and seeing them outside of it, completely different.
Wow. Well, guys, we're gonna wrap this baby up, but I want to thank everybody for coming on the show tonight.
Well, I hope Jason is wrapping it up.
Ben, I'm gonna wait for after the show, and we'll tell you how to do that check.
All right, man. Absolutely. So we'll start out with Anthony. Where can we find you at, sir?
I may be found after just about every show, passed out back here in the corner up against the wall, apparently. But Monday evenings, my co-host Colin and I can be found right here on the old YouTubers and the Facebooks with This Week in UGA Football from 7:30 to 8:30. Tuesdays on the Let's Talk Football family of shows with Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable with my co-host Nick Rosario and Delilah Crespo, talking NFL football. Sometimes on Thursdays and Fridays, I jump on with these guys here, and that's it. That's where you can find me.
Is that also where we can find you?
I guess Jason's trying to get a skill identifier of his own.
Yes, he is. Mr. Schomburg.
Could you wait a minute? Could you see that telephone call? I don't know who you are. I don't know who you want. But what I do have is skills, a particular set of skills. Skills that can make me either a nightmare or a glorious dream for a guy like you.
And you thought I sounded like Jason. Look at you, Anthony. All right.
Anthony's the man, dude. Anthony's the man.
Schomburg, where can we find you?
I didn't bring the Bills name up. Jesus.
You see how quick he's like, yes, Master Chief. I mean, oh, God.
You interrupted his text.
Yeah, Jason was texting.
No, but you can find me. I mean, next week it probably be with my work schedule. I probably won't be on Thursday and Friday, but you can see me. You can find me on the Let's Talk Football with Sean in the comments. I'm always there for mostly all their shows in the comments. You can find me on NFL Edition on Thursdays with Alex, Ben, and Johnny. Okay, I'm every other Friday on the Have At It show with Ben Cornett.
Thank you so much, Alec. And we're gonna see about next Friday. I'm not sure if we're gonna do a show next Friday. Obviously, Christmas. It's gonna be Christmas weekend, so I will let
Yeah, I
everybody
work next
know.
weekend, so the full
Right.
weekend.
Oh yeah. No, I understand, Alec. But as far as an actual show, we'll see how it goes this week. Play it out. I will do a post game show Sunday night. So hopefully, Johnny, Alec, Anthony, you're always welcome to join me for the post game show. Bucs Bengals. We'll recap that game, and yeah. So that'll do it for this evening. Episode 2 of Have at It. And Johnny, you got one more thing to say?
Yeah, I got a promo for the NFL edition. Make sure you guys tune in to NFL edition this coming Thursday because we have a very special show. We've got doppelgangers for all of us. We have the Extra Point guys coming in to join the show with us next Thursday at 9 p.m.
Doppelgangers. You mean to tell me you found a guy?
Wait.
Well, hold on. You found a 50-something-year-old black guy, almost as dark as me, with the same color beard, that falls asleep in the corner of his own studio. I mean, that's 50, impressive.
Not quite 50, but the rest of it falls in line.
Now, does he do impersonation? That's the other thing.
I haven't actually asked him that yet.
Now, see, if he doesn't do impersonation, then it don't count.
He's still a doppelganger. It's a mirror image. Those guys are a mirror image of our show. So,
if the style of the show is the same, then that's cool. You said doppelgangers. I'm like, which one is going to be? Which like?
Oh, you got to check out the Lions fan we're bringing in with them.
Oh boy, is it another Alex?
Oh, doppelganger is kind of like the opposite too.
True.
So,
True.
Hold on to your shorts. This is going to be a fun show Thursday.
Oh man, I cannot wait for that, guys. Yeah.
So wait a minute. So what you're really telling me is you found a black guy that doesn't like fried chicken.
he definitely doesn't like Skip Bayless.
Oh,
let's put it that way.
Oh man, guys, thanks again for coming on. And yes, I will be on NFL now. I'm the late guy, so I'll come in an hour after I get off work and everything to join you.
We're going to make sure we keep it on until you're on there. Man. You're going to enjoy it.
All right, I cannot wait. So, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight here on Have at It, episode 2. And I'll let you know next week if we do a show. Like I said, the holidays are coming up, so we'll see how it goes, but I will definitely let everyone know. So with that being said, enjoy your weekend, guys, and we will have at it again soon.
See ya.